very good afternoon to you and welcome to the midday news right here on 3FM 92.7. We come to you live from our studios here at Adesawi Kanda in Accra and our numerous affiliates across the country. We're also live on all our social media platforms on Facebook and on X. Coming up this afternoon, Interior Minister orders mass transfer of police commanders in illegal mining communities. Meanwhile, fresh polls by Global Info Analytics suggest 10% of Ghanaians believe there's no change in government's fight against illegal mining. Plus, standoff between government and minority over alleged suspicious aircrafts that landed at Ghana's Kotoka International Airport.
They'll give you, civil aviation will give you the records. We call it manifest. They can tell you who were on an aircraft. If it's a cargo plane, they can even tell you the nature of the cargo they brought.
More shortly, and government agencies begin crackdown on substance abuse by some youth, including Red. We'll cross over live to our reporter Ina Shaman shortly, and much later, mass vaccination exercise ongoing in the central region following a surge in cholera outbreak in the region. We have details of these and many more stories coming up to you in the next 30 minutes. Do stick and stay. My name is Judith Brown. Now, first story starts like this. The Minister for Interior, Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak, has ordered the Inspector General of Police, IGP, to immediately embark on mass transfer of all regional, divisional and district police commanders working in mining areas in the country. Now, he says that this decision is aimed at replacing officers who have served in these areas for an extended period without effectively addressing illegal mining activities.
Now they didn't have from and they also mention. There's no way here. Say I started everything. There's my nationality say. Say the say Sasa police be ya walk and say piano. My mom said, you mean now you have and you hear this commander. Divisional commander, walk and say here. Yeah, me say, well, who come, make us a they say, what's now watching? Well, you will, because what's now, I want to be fighting and say, and to you will, nay, I'm for example, and they are, we can't say policeman now, I'm for night, you go on. So, yeah, Munsaka, was a little with you. Now, your biggest says, I had to say, you didn't results. Because the Muslim is a one of the almost say you wouldn't be quiet. One money save you. Yen no be ye di side Medina show us say o go home.
Well, as the Interior Minister gives the orders, the Minister responsible for lands and natural resources, Emmanuel Amakofiboa, has also called for deeper collaboration among state institutions to clamp down on the activities of illegal miners. He described them as terrorists.
This fight is a collaborative effort and involves a lot of sector agencies, a lot of institutions. And I take the opportunity to urge all these institutions, including the defense, the police, the judiciary, to play their part. I mean, this story, it goes to underscore the critical importance of the judiciary in this fight. Earlier, we had talked about the scorecard of the past 8 years where 845 people arrested for illegal mining. We could only prosecute 35 of them. We pray that story is different. We've already engaged the Attorney General, we've engaged the Chief Justice. I'm very happy that Attorney General is taking the necessary step to try to reconstitute and bring back dedicated courts in dealing with these terrorists. And that's how we see them. They are terrorists.
Now let's head to the Central Region, and Central Regional Minister Adriama Otre Ekopenying has paid a courtesy visit to the Central North Regional Police Headquarters to receive briefing on the issue surrounding the death of Constable John Kwabena Dobe. He is the police officer who drowned and died during an anti-Galamsey operation on the Ofin River. Now the meeting will also cater for steps to be taken to address ongoing Galamsey activities in the Central Region. Our correspondent Akwesi Ado is following up on this particular issue, and he's joining us for more. Akwesi, good afternoon. What's really the purpose of the meeting, this security meeting, beyond what I just read?
Okay, good afternoon. So about 2 days ago, Constable Dobe, who was attached to the Central North Regional Police Command, drowned and died in the Ofin River at Asena Saman during an anti-Galamsey operation. And so today, the Minister Ekopenying paid a visit to the headquarters to commiserate with the command and then to seek the way forward in dealing with the illegal mining menace, which is very, very prevalent in the central region here, particularly the northern part of the region.
Now, Akwesi, what has been said about the officer's death as well?
Okay, so the meeting had various security, top security officers in attendance, and then the regional minister, apart from commiserating with the police, also did mention is that family of the deceased who are in Accra have been notified about the unfortunate incident, and that the regional ministry is ready to assist in any other form. And then also, he has reiterated that this would not disturb the Regional Coordinating Council or prevent them from, moving in to clamp down on these illegal miners whose activities are causing a lot of havoc on the environment. He did also recognize the hard work being done by the Central North Regional Police Command so far as the fight against illegal mining is concerned, and that he told them that he would not want them to be demotivated. He knows that, yes, this is a heavy blow to them, but then he would also expect that they would press their foot on the gas and ensure that they are able to clamp down on these illegal miners. So he's mentioned is that from the Praso area through to the Dentra Diaso in the Upper Dentra West District, they are going to embark on a massive operation exercises to ensure that they are able to, deal with these illegal miners.
Right, many thanks for your time. That's my colleague Akwesi Ado. He has been giving us more details on that particular subject on illegal mining. Of course, we're going to engage Emmanuel Coating. Of course, he's going to give us more, updates on this matter of illegal mining. We heard earlier about the Minister of Interior ordering the Inspector General of Police (IGP) to immediately embark on a mass transfer of all regional, divisional, and district police commanders working in all mining areas in the country. We engage Emmanuel Coating on this. He is a security expert. Good afternoon, sir. Now, if you could tell us really what your thoughts are on this particular mass transfer of regional, divisional, and district police commanders.
Well, thank you for having me, and good afternoon to your very cherished listeners. First and foremost, we must underscore and acknowledge that the Galamsey in its current form is not just about law enforcement problem. It is a social and a political problem. So to me, the simply transferring commanders from these areas is not even going to solve the problem for us. But I may be challenged as a security analyst. It is true. The Interior Minister has an oversight responsibility over all our security agencies. But to order the Inspector General of Police for this transfer, to me, is far-fetched. At most, it can amount to political interference in the administration of the police as an institution. Don't forget, the IGP is the one mandated by the Constitution to run the daily activities of the police as an institution. So I think that he has just taken over office. We are a human institution. He can be pardoned. But I have a bit of difficulty too. I understand COP Mamitiwa is the technical advisor to the sector minister. So I'm again challenging, was Mami Tiwa consulted on this? If she wasn't consulted, is it also the case that she's just been dumped there for political expediency? You see, if you look at the role of all our operations in our Galamsey side, mostly they are led by the military. The police are simply providing complementary roles. Look at the resources at the disposal of our local police stations. What can they really do with the mega resources at their disposal? So how then can you expect more from a police than the operational team whose mandate is to fight Galamsey menace? So to me, both the NPP and the NDC are playing political and musical chairs with us. If we really want to confront the menace of Galamsey, let's put a temporary ban on all Galamsey activities. Then when the dust settles, we can then look at the good aspect that can benefit our community and our country. But if we want to go the piecemeal approach we have always done, then we cannot be taken seriously. We cannot be taken serious as a country, especially given the political underscore or campaign during the elections, the promises that the party made and those things. Let's be mindful of something. In the past, economic mismanagement gave moral justification for coup d'etats in this country. Just recently, terrorism became the moral justification for many coup d'etats around the Sahel. I'm using my word very advisedly. If we don't take care, Galamsey could become the moral justification for a coup d'etat in this country. Because we are destroying our water body. How do we poison our water body just because some very few individuals want to benefit from things? And look at the kind of people who are at our Galamsey side. They are foreign mercenaries. And foreigners like the Chinese. Are we saying that in China, they don't have mineral resources? They are using it as their security weapon for the future. Why are we as a country interested in the present consumption of our natural resources? Granted that if our parents, our grandparents have done same, I'm not sure we would have met what we are having today.
Mr. Koting,
the overflow of the Galamsey menace is the kind of armed robbery attacks we see where they attack Momo vendors, take their money, and kill them. That is not Ghanaian. So we have to look at this thing in a whole perspective, and the interior minister has to tone down. Even if you want to give this kind of directives, it should be in camera. It shouldn't be seen interfering in the activities of our security agencies.
Well, Mr. Emmanuel Koting, many thanks for your time. He has been speaking on this matter of the recent directive by the Interior Minister ordering the Inspector General of Police to immediately embark on a mass transfer of regional divisional police officers as well. But we're going to stay on this matter of Galamsey because the first national tracking poll conducted by Global Info Analytics indicates that 5 out of every 10 Ghanaians say the fight against illegal mining or galamsey has not gotten any better. Well, according to the post, 10% of Ghanaians say the fight against galamsey has gotten worse, with 44% saying it remains unchanged. Let's now get on the lines and speak with the Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa. He's joining us for more on this. Good afternoon, sir. Now, what factors do you think have contributed to the perception that the fight against galamsey has not improved?
I think a combination of things. There's a more coverage in the media, on social media. People are seeing what is going on around the communities, especially for those that are involved in galamsey, and across the country to see or seeing what is happening elsewhere. And they've also not seen the water bodies improve. So on that basis, they don't think that a lot has changed. Indeed, 44% said nothing has changed, which means what was going on at the time before the election was still going on. And 10% said it's gotten worse. Only 38% said it has improved. If you want to look at it from a different angle, you could also say that in terms of those who say it has improved, it's about 28% more people are saying it has improved than gotten worse. That's another angle you could look at it. But then if you look at it from the galamsey areas, that's where data becomes very interesting. Because in that, or in those areas, they are split. Almost 28% are saying that it has improved, and 25% that it's gotten worse. So in those areas, nothing really has changed.
Right, and so what would you say basically is leading to why people think that 44% of Ghanaians feel that the fight against galamsey remains unchanged?
You know, if you are in an area or locality and you see your water bodies getting cleaner, those are the evidence you use to say that, the water or the situation is improving. If people have been stopped from mining in the water bodies, the color of the water would respond, will change, people will see it. So with galamsey, when you are making improvement, it becomes evident through the color of the water. Maybe that has not happened yet. So they are saying that nothing has changed.
Well, many thanks for your time. Musa Dankwa is also the Executive Director of Global Info Analytics. He has been bringing us more details on this particular subject. We have been talking about the issue of illegal mining, which still persists in Ghana. We're going to move on to some more stories. And ranking on the Defence and Interior Committee of Parliament insists that the government got it wrong when it chose to debunk allegations of 2 aircrafts arriving in the country carrying cocaine and large sums of the U.S. currency. Now, the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwakye-Fosu, on Thursday criticized Reverend John Ntim-Fordjo's claims, accusing him of spreading falsehoods about an alleged suspicious aircraft that landed at Ghana's Kotoka International Airport. Reverend Ntim-Fordjo spoke on Metro TV earlier today.
If they allow the presidency, Flagstaff House, and they allow Kwakye-Fosu to lead those communications, they will bring their own image into disrepute.
All right.
Because of credibility matters.
Okay.
For what it's worth, they must, as a matter of urgency today, relevant security and intelligence agencies, just issue statement or engage the press. Because you started it by carrying the press along. It is only respectful and prudent that you are circumspect, you issue a press statement, very brief, give updates or engage them, give updates so that they can trust. Because for me, my handling of state institutions and security, you already know my philosophy. It is not political. I have even argued that when presidents come, they ought to be careful how they change security top heads because they are the state.
Okay.
They must be decoupled from politics. This is a state matter.
All right.
And so the Flagstaff House and Kwakye-Fosu and President Mahama, they seem to be emotionally connected to these matters. Please, they should decouple those emotions and allow the state agencies to issue their defense, issue their information. Perhaps what they will even put out there will allay fears.
Okay.
Perhaps
you've made that
what
point.
they will put out there
You've made that point.
Will carry the public along, so that we would not turn suddenly this country that has become the most peaceful country, the second most peaceful country in Africa for about 8 years. Suddenly 3 months becoming a hub for cocaine
Okay.
and money laundering.
All right, Honorable.
That reputation, we should
right.
resist it.
Honorable.
And so let us all together, help to have a good name for this country.
All right.
And not weaken and denigrate the credentials this country has. It shouldn't be safe haven for drug traffic.
Meanwhile, South Dai MP Roxanne Nelson Dapia Mekbo said the call for probe is right, but the timing is wrong. In his view, the chairman's claim of getting an intelligence on the arrival of cocaine at the port was false. He spoke on the same platform.
The information was false because of the things you were saying. It is the falsehood associated with the information you were putting out.
No flag start.
Oh, please. So it is not there is no intelligence about it. It's a matter of public record. When you go to the manager of our airports, they'll give you, civil aviation will give you the records. We call it manifest. They can tell you who were on an aircraft. If it's a cargo plane, they can even tell you the nature of the cargo they brought. So there's a manifest for every aircraft that lands and takes off from any tarmac in this country or from any aerodrome. So that the claim that it's an intelligence is in itself false, because that is a public document. And you, as a ranking member on Defense and Interior, if you apply, you can get a copy. And if he wants to do the things Okujeto used to do, he should copy it well. Oh, please, I'll tell you.
I think
copy it well.
Today you
please.
On the show.
No.
Well, in another development, the Volta North Command of the Ghana Police Service has destroyed 61 bags of cannabis after securing a court order to dispose of them. Now, the 61 sacks, each of which contained 40 parcels of the narcotics, were set ablaze at a refuse dump site at Biwebe in the Hohoe municipality on Thursday.
The consignment, according to the police, were intercepted by police patrol teams at various points between 2023 to 2025. Each of the 61 sacks contained 40 parcels of marijuana, totaling 2,440.
There have been a few instances when some people have been arrested at Pandu, and then a few also in Hohoe. And then those cases are before the court. So once the forensic lab come to check and then it is positive, then they are now charged with the offense of dealing in narcotic drugs. Since it's been already tested, the sample has been taken. Now once the exhibit stores are becoming choked, then we need to free those portions to enable, in case we get other ones, to put there. So this is one of the exercises.
ACP Joshua Cobson stressed that the exercise to dispose of the consignment does not put an end to the prosecution of individuals arrested in connection with the drug.
As a country, we would not accept narcotics. We all know the effect of narcotics, its effects on the youth. And so we're sending a strong warning to those involved that once you are caught, you'll be dealt with. The law will catch up on you. It's better to abstain from narcotic drugs. So this particular exercise is not the end of the prosecution. The case is still in court and they are being dealt with.
In the presence of officials of the court, the Environmental Protection Authority and personnel from the fire service, the sacks were evacuated from the police exhibit stores in Hohoe to be transported to a refuse dump allocated for its disposal at Biwebe.
After about 15-minute drive from the Hohoe township, we finally arrived at the site allocated for the exercise, which is being done under tight security protection, also in the presence of the media, to ensure that the court order is carried out transparently. Police in the municipality are saying that they are renewing their effort in combating illicit drug trade, particularly within the area. And as you can see from behind me, the consignment have been set ablaze. We are waiting here until all of it is burnt into ashes before we vacate the site. Reporting for TV3 News, I'm from Biwebe. My name is Faisal Abdul Idrisu.
Now, a political scientist and member of the MPP, Dr. Mwakoba, says the opposition party can bounce back stronger only if the party purges itself from what it calls bad elements within. Now, he also made comments on the latest Global Info Analytic polls analyzing future MPP presidential race. Let's listen to him.
All the others have single-digit support. Kennedy is only double digits. Baumia is far ahead. So there's no argument there. He's the one they have to field. That is if everything goes okay. And that is what I caution them on. They better allow people to speak what they know, what they are upset about. It has to come out and try to remove the bad elements in the party. They have to remove them so that people will be happy again to come back. If the so-called bad elements are still in there, no, then nothing will change. So it is in the interest of everyone, especially those who want to run, to remove these people from the party. If it wasn't for Nanado, he would be even more popular. Because the anger with Nanado, it was reflected onto Bambi. Whatever anger people were showing towards the president, it reflected it on the vice president too. So if he wasn't vice president, he would be more popular, I think.
Well, let's do some more stories. We're going to go back to the issue in Asham. And of course, we told you about the fact that some cannabis, or the Volta North Command of the Ghana Police Service, had destroyed some 61 bags of cannabis after securing a court order to dispose of them. We're going to connect with our reporter live from the ground, Stanley Nibleu. He's bringing us more details on that. He is with the Food and Drugs Authority as there's an attempt to destroy the opioid-induced substance, which is also known as red. Stanley, tell us what the exercise, the FDA is undertaking in Ashaman.
Okay, so Judith, just a couple of weeks ago, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Food and Drug Authority, impounded some pounds of red, or opioids, as it's popularly called. The importance of this consignment actually used Ghana as a transit point. And so the health minister, Kwabena Kando, who stepped in to confiscate the consignment, made mention that they are not going to allow for this country to be used as a transit point of opioids. So basically, this opioids, which is the red 225, which is worth 20 million cedi, is being transported. Is supposed to be transported to Niger, which is our neighboring country in the West African bloc. And so this afternoon, what is happening at Ashaman, there is a private incinerator called Vigor DW Enterprise. It's a private incinerator where the items, the consignments have been brought in from the Tema Harbor to be incinerated. And so as I speak, the FDA is represented here. The Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, is also represented here. We also have the minister in person also supervising the process, the incineration process, so that everything can be burnt or destroyed totally. And so as I speak, the vehicle that went for the items from the Tema port have just arrived at the incinerator, and then the items are being offloaded into the incinerator for it to be burnt or destroyed. And so that is what we are here to witness this afternoon. The EPA and then the health minister are yet to speak to the media about the way forward as to what will happen beyond confiscating and destroying these tons of opioids.
Well, many thanks for your time. Stanley Nibleu is our correspondent. He has been speaking on the matter of some destruction of 61 bags of cannabis. He has also been following the FDA on that particular issue. Let's do one more story before we go, because work is progressing steadily on the 82 million cedis bridge construction over the Tana River that runs through Sefri Yoso to Nzarora in the Western North region. Now, at 60% progression rate, government has commended the local contractor defying the unending rains in the region to help build the bridge that will open up the Western North Enclave as a food basket. Let's take a listen.
Building a bridge where you need to put piers in the riverbed in Western region. In fact, even if this were to be in a drier region, it's not that easy. So do this in a Western North region. It's very challenging. That is why I want to commend Asabia Engineering specifically about it. Without a doubt, it's one of our local stars in terms of bridges. You look at the price that we are told this is the contract price. Believe me, if this were to be done by a foreign company in Accra, they would have been talking about multiple millions of dollars. But this is a homegrown solution to some of the problems we have. So I want to commend the leader of Asabia Engineering for providing a solution that works for us. He's buying into the president's idea that you can work more than the time that you need to work. So I've seen on the side that he declared a 24-hour economy working game. 24-hour economy is not about a construction project. It's about a policy to drive our understanding or the way we do things. So he's applying that if he's going to take 8 to 5 times 10 days, because of the situation, he rather do 24 hours to shorten the time so that he can catch up with that. And I think that is very commendable. One day you could be building a bridge like Adomi Bridge, because if you can do this, it's just a bigger scale of that. So.
And that's our wrap up the midday news right here on 3FM 92.7. My name is Judith Brown. A pleasure coming to you always. Stay tuned because business news is up next.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Business Daily on 3FM 92.7 with me, Bismark Awusah. Coming up this afternoon, Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, advocates for higher treasury bill rates to absorb excess liquidity.
The downward trend of T-bills is not having positive effect on inflation and that of policy rate. Why don't we then adjust T-bill rates?
Meanwhile, Ghana's budget deficit financing plans raise red flags amidst government's continuous rejection of T-bill bids and under subscriptions.
If government continues to reduce or to refuse the bids that have been, tendered by investors, the investors will shy away from the market.
Plus, Ghana Statistical Service report shows surge in business establishments, but employment growth lags. These stories and others lined up for you. Please stay. Thanks for your company. Now to our very first story. The Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, is urging the government to increase treasury bill rates to address the issue of excess liquidity on the market. According to GUTA's head of business and economic bureau, Charles Kusi Apiakubi, the persistent decline in T-bill rates has made them unattractive to investors, resulting in excess liquidity. Kubi emphasized that relying on policy rates to control inflation would lead to higher borrowing costs, ultimately hurting businesses.
The downward trend of T-bills is not having positive effect on inflation and that of policy rate. Why don't we then adjust T-bill rates?
You just heard Charles Kusi Apiakubi, who is head of business and economic bureau at the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Meanwhile, Ghana's 2025 budget deficit financing plans have raised concerns among experts, with 63% of the deficits slated to be financed domestically. Finance and tax expert Charles Nelson Kujo Kwagbeji warns that The continuous rejection and undersubscription of treasury bills threatens the government's ability to close the fiscal gap. If government is unable to finance its budget deficit, the country may face increased borrowing costs, economic instability, inflation, currency depreciation, and even a sovereign debt crisis.
The deficit that will be generated this year from the 2025 budget, about 63% of it will be financed domestically. Now, what is going to happen is that if government continues to reduce or to refuse the bids that have been, tendered by investors, the investors will shy away from the market. So the negative impact is that government may not be able to raise the needed domestic debt in future, because investors will be looking for an equally profitable alternative investment scheme. So clearly, the reduction in the rate is a prudent debt management strategy being adopted by the government in order not to increase the level of our debt as we speak now.
You heard finance and tax expert Nelson Kujo-Kwagweji warning that the continuous rejection and undersubscription of treasury bills threatens the government's ability to close the fiscal gap. Moving on, a recent report from the Ghana Statistical Service has revealed that the number of business establishments in Ghana have tripled over the past decade, reaching approximately 1.9 million. However, employment growth has not kept pace with the number of persons engaged in these businesses doubling to around 6.9 million. The report, based on the 2024 Integrated Business Establishment Survey, also found that a significant majority of 1.7 million of these business establishments are micro entities. Anthony Kakra, head of Industrial Statistics and coordinator of IBES at the GSS, emphasized the need for policies that support the growth of micro businesses, citing their potential to drive economic development.
The tripling of the establishments from the micro businesses, which is one-man business, two-man business, and the right. So there's plenty that do not employ more people. So it has a lot of implications on job creation. The best way around this as a country for us is to trigger and ensure that we implement policies that will enhance business sizes to expand, or a lot of businesses to grow. So if you have very large businesses, then you need to employ more, you need to churn out more revenue, you need to pay more revenue to the state, and you need to get more income as an establishment, and of course, pay more people. And overall, as the supply of labor in terms of the workers working there are getting more revenue, it enhances growth, overall growth, both from in terms of the business side and also the household side, those who supply the labor to this establishment. So the whole issue has got to do with what do we want as a country. As a country, we have produced a statistics that should guide policy.
And that was head of Industrial Statistics and coordinator of IBES at the Ghana Statistical Service, Anthony Cracker. Now, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana is calling on the government to provide relief measures and incentives to support exporters affected by the US's 10% export tariff. According to Executive Secretary of the Association, Samson Asaki Awingobit, the tariff hike will have severe consequences, including job losses, negative trade balance, and reduced economic growth. To mitigate these effects, the association urges government to explore alternative markets by identifying emerging markets to cushion the impact of Ghanaian exporters.
If you, the exporter, cannot afford to pay the duty, and the buyer today cannot afford to pay the duty, your business has come to a truncation. That's what it means. It means you can no longer do business with the American, with your counterpart, or with your supplier in America, or with your buyer in America. So, and also it's going to lead up to job losses, especially those who are taking the agro as opportunity. It was duty-free, tariff-free. Now that you have to pay tariff for it, it adds up to your cost of doing business. What is happening means that governments should be thinking about realigning with some countries. We should be looking for emerging markets. We should be doing more roadshows. We should be doing more exhibition. And I'm happy that now that our ambassadors are set or are yet to go out to represent the president in those various countries, they should go out with target, with a very aggressive way to go to market Ghana, sell Ghana, especially Ghanaian produce.
And that was Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobit, bringing the end to Business Daily on 3FM 92.7. With me, Bismark Awusah. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. Thanks for your company.